If I was to give you only one piece of advice when you're setting up your classroom, or when you're dealing with ongoing difficult student behaviour, when kids are not doing what you ask, when you feel at a loss, it would be to set or reset clear expectations. One of the most effective strategies you can use is to set your expectations or reset your expectations for how you want students to behave in your class. Having clear, straightforward expectations is good for your students and it's good for you. It means that you feel confident and capable in running a classroom and leading your students, and it's good for your well-being. Teachers often ask me, how do I deal with the student who is always off task? Or what do I do with a student or class who won't do what I say? The answer often lies at the foundation level of how the class has been set up. And there are lots of reasons why this is the case. Sometimes you have to take over a class that's already been set up by another teacher. Perhaps the classroom climate is difficult to manage. Or perhaps you were not as well informed at the beginning of the year and you'd like to start over and set some parameters around student behaviour. Well, the good news is you can start over. There are many opportunities for you to reset, reteach, and re-engage your students, whether it's at the beginning of the week, the beginning of the term, the beginning of the semester, or the beginning of the year. It is never too late to do it better. In this video, I'll share with you the most effective ways to set your expectations for your class so that you give yourself and your class the best chance for success. And while there is no magic wand, no silver bullet, no angel dust that will solve all your student behaviour problems, there are better ways of working and more effective ways to teach. Look after your wellbeing as a teacher by using evidence-based strategies, by putting your energy into building positive relationships with your students, and by setting clear boundaries for your students. Give them feedback about their behaviour with an acknowledgement system that they value and consequences that support their progress. If you're interested in learning more about positive behaviour management and how positive behaviour management is good for teacher wellbeing, follow the link here. A positive approach to student behaviour is more successful and is better for you as a teacher. My name is Maria Amaro, and I'm the Principal Presenter at The Highly Effective Teacher. I'm a teacher and I've been working with students and teachers for over 30 years. I'm passionate about teacher wellbeing, and I combine research and experience to provide strategies that improve teacher wellbeing, especially practice that take no more extra teacher time and can actually give you back time by working more effectively. I love coaching teachers so that they thrive in the teaching profession, not just survive. Improved teacher wellbeing means improved student wellbeing, and that contributes to better academic and social outcomes for all our students. If you'd like to learn more about teacher wellbeing, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so that you receive notifications of all our videos. When you subscribe, that helps to support our channel. It means that we can keep making these videos to get information and support out to more teachers. When setting your expectations, the first thing you need to do is decide your expectations. Take some time to decide how you want your classroom to operate. What are the behaviours you want from your students? And what are the ones that you don't want? Writing them down can help you, and using a chart such as this one can help you do that. So you might want them to stop being out of their seat and start staying in their seat. You might want them to stop talking over you and start listening to you. You want them to stop talking over each other and start following the expectation of one person speaks at a time. You may want them to stop having poor work habits and to start participating fully in your class. You might want them to stop being rude to each other and start speaking respectfully. Consider the most important classroom behaviours that you want to see and that you feel are important, and create 3 to 5 positive statements about expected student behaviour. That's not the end of it. The next thing you need to do is negotiate your expectations. So once you've decided what you want in your classroom, then it's time to ask your students what they want. After all, it's their classroom too, and if you want them to go along with your plan, you will build positive relationships with them and get buy-in when you listen to their perspective. As well as hearing from them about the expectations they have for their learning, ask them what they expect of you and how they would like to be treated in your class by you as their teacher. And while it may feel scary to ask students what they want, you may be surprised that most students will say they want you to be there on time, they want you to give them interesting work, and they don't want you to yell at them. Number 3, teach your expectations. Explicitly teach the behaviour that you want to see in your classroom. Never assume that students know what speaking respectfully means, or that they have the skills to do that all the time. They're learning how to do that. Give students opportunities to discuss, role play, and practice the skills, and observe others doing the same. Make the learning interesting and engaging by making it relevant. For example, linking it to the workplace, to making and keeping friends, to getting along in life, and to be able to get what you want. Number 4, reinforce your expectations. Once you've taught the behaviour that you want to see, you need to acknowledge it when you see it. What you focus on will increase in intensity and frequency. Give your students feedback about their behaviour. So with your students, come up with an acknowledgement system that they find motivating. You can use verbal praise, either public or private, depending on the student, non-verbal gestures, sticker charts, class rewards, individual rewards. It doesn't really matter what you do to acknowledge students as long as you do it. Oh, and it must be genuine. Kids know if you are inauthentic. Number 5, reteach your expectations. When student behaviour deteriorates or kids are not following your expectations, assume that they don't have the skills they need and reteach just as you would in maths or English or music. Take the approach that the student or students need additional support to be successful, and give them small group work or individual instruction in how to follow the expectations. If you need to revisit and reteach the whole class, you may like to use a classroom meeting structure and discuss the issues with the students and then rewrite a class agreement about behaviour. Number 6, expectation consequences. When you set up your class expectations, you also need to discuss with your class what will happen when they don't follow the expectations. Rather than thinking about how you're going to punish them, consider how you can support them to be successful. And your process may look something like this. First of all, you give them a prompt. That may be a non-verbal gesture, such as tapping on the desk, proximity, pointing to the rule up on the board, pausing, making eye contact. And then you give take-up time. Remind them. Say, remember our listening rule, thanks. Again, give take-up time. If it still doesn't work, then you might like to restate the rule by saying, Jay, one person speaks at a time in this classroom, thanks. Again, giving them some take-up time. Then you may have to move to giving a choice. And in this situation, then you make sure you're offering a legitimate choice, like work at your desk, or you can work at my desk. Write on the paper, or do the work online. Chat quietly in your group, or work independently. And it's a really good idea to work out these choices in advance, because it can be very difficult to think up on the spot, especially if the behaviour is a triggering behaviour for you. Consider and practice, if you need to, delivering those choices, because any choice can sound like a threat if your body language and tone of voice make it seem like a threat. Listen to the difference between the way I deliver this statement. You can do your work now, or you can stay in with me at recess. Do your work now, or you can stay in here with me at recess to do it. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and happy teaching.